So, a very good evening to all the panelists and attendees. Welcome back to the University of Tokyo's Study and Work Life in Japan's webinar series. I'm Kushi Javeri from Kyoto University, and today we are here for the Global Network Project of University of Tokyo India office. This project aims to attract students primarily from South Asia to encourage them to pursue their further studies in Japan. In today's webinar, we have been joined by several renowned universities in Japan. Each of these universities will give us a 20-minute presentation about their programs offered at undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral levels, followed by a 5-minute Q&A session. Students are free to ask questions to our panelists in the Q&A box and not the chat box. Once again, please make sure to ask your questions in the Q&A box. And panelists, please make sure to turn off your video and audio when not presenting. Now I'll share the agenda of today's webinar. I hope everyone can see my screen. So today we'll commence the webinar by a brief introduction by Ms. Sakshi, the Program Assistant of U Tokyo India Office. Then we'll have a presentation for overview of study and work life in Japan by Ms. Vaishnavi from University of Tokyo, followed by a presentation by University of Tokyo by Mr. Gurapal from the Graduate School of Information Science and Technology. Then we'll have a presentation by Kyoto University of Advanced Science by Mr. Takeda, the International Office Director, followed by a presentation by Toei University by Mr. Hori, the Inbound Coordinator. And lastly, we'll have a presentation by Japan Science and Technology Agency by Mr. Nishikawa, the Advisor for International Relations and Cooperation. Now, I'd like to request Ms. Sakshi to begin the webinar by the introduction.
Thank you, Ms. Kushi, for the introduction. Let me share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Sakshi Roy, and this program is hosted by the University of Tokyo India office and brought to you by MEX, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology in Japan. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you for attending our webinar today. We are so glad that you have participated in our webinars, and today we are joined by world-class Japanese universities and participants from different parts of the world. So thank you for taking the time to attend our webinar today. Let me give you a brief introduction about our office. We are the part of Study in Japan Global Network Project in Southwest Asia by MEXT, and we provide information on Japanese universities. We organize education fairs and seminars throughout India. So this time, because of COVID situation, we are conducting this online webinar series on study and work in Japan. And we hope our webinars will support you and your dreams to study in Japan. Today we are here for session 29 of our webinar, and all these webinars are basically designed to introduce you to some of the best Japanese universities, and we will be discussing the various program offerings and opportunities to study and work in Japan in our online sessions. So there will be 3 to 4 different Japanese universities representing in each session: national, public, and private universities. And all the universities are basically focusing to introduce English-based programs that are offered by them. In Japan, there has been approximately 700 plus universities as well as specialized vocational institutions. So if you are interested to study in world's third largest economy, you have so many options to choose from world-class universities. The academic options for international students are nearly boundless in Japan. And after graduating from Japanese universities, you'll be truly valuable in a job market, not only in Japan, but in the other countries as well. So I request all of you to please stay tuned with us till the end of the session and join our future webinars to learn about opportunities to study and work in Japan. Right now, you can scan this QR code to register for our upcoming webinars. And if anyone who like more information or has questions, please feel free to contact us at this mail address. We would be very happy to assist you. I ensure the webinar will be profitable and the next few hours will be enjoyable and fruitful for every one of you. So thank you very much for paying attention and please enjoy today's session.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sakshi, for the introduction. I will reshare the QR code at the end of the webinar, so please stay tuned. I'll reshare the agenda slide. So now I'd like to request Ms. Vaishnavi to give us an overview of study and work life in Japan.
Hello everyone, a very good evening and a warm afternoon to all students and parents from India. Let me introduce myself in brief. I'm Vaishnavi Thakur, a master's student in the University of Tokyo. I was born and brought up in Hyderabad in India, and currently I'm doing my master's program in the Department of Electrical Engineering and Information Systems. So today I'll be sharing about my student life and the work in Japan. So let's first see how what Japan is. So why Japan and why did I choose Japan and why do I think it is one of the best places for the higher education? As you know, Japan is an island country in East Asia. It is one of the most densely populated and urbanized countries in the world. Life in Japan is very peaceful and full of opportunities. This is evident from the fact that Japanese cities like Osaka and Tokyo have been ranked as the best student cities and the most livable cities in the world. So I would also agree that moving to another country puts a lot of stress on students and parents especially. So let's try to address some of the common concerns like the public transportation. So you need not worry about the public transportation because it is the most safest and the most convenient option, and it is very easy. Like wherever you are located at, you can easily commute to your university without any hassle. And another common concern is about the food. So be it if you are a vegetarian, non-vegetarian or anything, you need not worry. We have all types of vegetables available in supermarkets. It's so easy and convenient to get. And also Japan offers different international cuisines like Indian, Chinese, European, so on. So, and the another concern we come across usually is the health. So what happens if we fall sick? So in India, we have our parents and family to take care of us. But here we become independent and we have to take care of ourselves. But what about the bills? So usually we have a national health insurance system, which covers almost 70% of the medical expenses. And the rest 30% are covered by universities as well. So you need not worry about the health, like if you fall sick and if you get hospitalized. So these are some of the major concerns usually students and parents have while coming to Japan. And now let's look into the universities and the admission process into Japan. So education in Japan, like it is quite different from education in India because here it is mostly university-based education. We have different three types of universities, national universities, public and private universities. National universities are founded by the national government and the public by the local government bodies, and private institutions are the private or by the private organizations. So usually there's another misconception we have is about the language of the instruction. So do we have to learn Japanese in order to study in these universities? No, it is not compulsory to have Japanese proficiency. There are various English programs that are being offered by these universities. To give an overview, there are around 90 undergraduate courses and 40 universities, and these are being offered in English. And there are around 160 master's courses and 51 universities that are offered in English. So it is also really important to understand the difference between the admission process in India and Japan. In India, it is mostly with the centralized entrance exams like IIT, JEE and NEET. But in Japan, the process totally lies with the universities. So you need to contact the universities and get in touch with their admissions team to gain the admission into the universities. So this is about education in Japan, and let's see about the world-class infrastructure in the next slide. So I need not specially mention about the infrastructure and facilities in Japan and the universities especially. The research labs, the dormitories, everything are top-notch, and the university dorms also offer a peaceful living environment for well-balanced academic and personal lifestyle. So this is about Japanese universities, and let's see about the admission process for the international students. So for admissions into bachelor's program, the usual process is to take an entrance exam and submit SOPs. For master's and PhD programs, the first step is to find our research interest and get in touch with the professor. This is a general admission process, but through these webinars, we can find out about the admission process through in various universities and in various departments. I say that this is not the only admission process. There are various admission processes through which students can come into these universities. And also another thing is, we usually see many students preferring Western countries for their higher studies. But here is a comparison between the tuition fees for the universities in US and in Japan. So besides the low tuition fees, there are also many scholarships being offered by the Japanese universities. Some of them are the mixed, JASO, and local government scholarships and local international associations and scholarships through private organizations. There are n number of scholarships that are being offered. So students can take advantage of these scholarships too. And this is about the study, and this is about the process of studying in Japan. Now let's look into the work life. So what happens after we graduate? So will we able to get a job easily, or will we easily get a visa? So you need not be concerned about the job opportunities, because there are many international Japanese companies which you can target, and also you can work in many other global companies too. So if you look at the statistics, we have the unemployment rate, which is very low, that is around 2.3%. And the average salary which a student gets after graduation is around 3.9 million yen per year. So you can work in these organizations and earn the salaries. And also another important thing is the visa. So in Western countries, we all know how difficult it is to obtain a working visa, but here we do not have that problem, because it is very easy to convert from student visa to working visa, and there is no hassle at all. So you can right away start working in a company after you graduate. So these are some of the benefits that Japan has when compared to other countries. So this is about study and work life in Japan. And to give a glimpse, I would present my life. So this is how my weekends in Japan are. After the weekdays hustle with research work, you can take out some time for yourself by pursuing various activities. Usually every city and the world has a sports center where you can indulge in any type of sports, and you're also going to be in one of the most developed, organized, and happening countries, and everything is accessible at our fingertips. So there are many clubs and which you can be a part of. And also if you're a foodie, Japan is not going to disappoint you. This picture itself has food from around 4 different countries. So if you are an outdoor person, then I'm sure that Japan is your place. You have to come here and experience it for yourself. And so it doesn't matter how much I describe about my life or the student life in Japan. That can only be well understood when you come to Japan and share it. I mean, when you experience it for yourself. So yeah, with this, I would conclude my presentation, and I wish you all the very best in coming to Japan for your higher studies. And I hope to see some of you in future. Thank you, Ms. Khushi.
Thank you so much, Ms. Vaishnavi, for the very insightful presentation. I'm sure students have gotten a gist of the study and work life in Japan by your experience. So thank you once again. I will reshare the agenda slide. So now we have the presentation by University of Tokyo. So first I talk a little about the university. So Tokyo University is the first imperial university in Japan and is regarded as one of the most prestigious educational institutes in the world. The university is home to several notable alumni, including prime ministers, Nobel laureates, and astronauts. Graduates of the university have landed themselves with great job opportunities and have had a significant contribution to the society. Now I'd like to request Mr. Vorapong to give us an insight into the university.
Thank you very much for your kind introductions, Ms. Khushi. Let me share my slide. Okay, so as Ms. Kushi introduced, I'm from the University of Tokyo. I'm actually from one of the graduate school inside the University of Tokyo called as Graduate School of Information Science and Technologies. We are a graduate school, so we accept only master and PhD students, and we are Graduate School of Information Science and Technologies, which means that we focus on the science and technological part of IT technologies. I would like to mention that at the University of Tokyo, the admission process at different graduate school or different faculties are quite different. You will have different deadline, you will have different kind of process at each graduate school or faculties over there. So what I will discuss in this presentation may be quite different if you want to apply to different graduate school or faculties at the University of Tokyo. Okay, so let me introduce you to our graduate school by this single slide. We had just been established in 2001, so we are actually the youngest in the University of Tokyo. We have 6 departments, computer science. I'm sure that all of us know what this is. Mathematical informatics, it is a kind of hybrid between mathematics and information. Information physics and computing is a kind of a hybrid between physics and information. Then we have information and communication engineering, a hybrid between electrical engineering and information. Then mechanoinformatics, a hybrid between information and mechanical engineering. Then creative informatics, which is a creative applications of information. You can see over here that even though our graduate school's name is Information Science and Technologies, we are not only focusing on IT. We are not only focusing on computer science. We're focusing on the hybrid between information science and many other areas of science and engineering. So even you are not graduating from Department of Computer Science or Department of Computer Engineering, if you are mathematicians, if you are physicists, if you are electrical engineer, if you are mechanical engineers, you are cordially welcome to join our graduate school. Please feel free to apply to us. And well, I mean, it's going to be a nice chance for you to learn the hybrid between your field and information science and probably get a job in IT companies after the graduation. Our master and PhD courses are research-based. All students, including master students, are expected to spend most of their time working on research under supervisions of our professors. By this, we believe that our master course will prepare you a very nice research skill. It will prepare you to join any PhD program in top university around the world, including the University of Tokyo, of course. All right, so if you are planning to move further to PhD course in the future, probably our master course is one of the best in terms of research. All right, because we are focusing a lot on research, let me show you a few research results that our master students can obtain in recent years. The first video that I would like to show you is actually interesting because it is the first time that the true diagram is created.
I have a dream when I was a child. I'm from China, so we also dreaming of the dragon. I'm Moji Zhao from JSK Robotics Lab in the University of Tokyo, and I'm the assistant professor in this lab. There are lots of kind of the bio-inspired robots. People make the robot dog or robot cat. The dragon is not a real animal, but it's a kind of holy symbol in Asia. Imagine this robot like a flying human arm to do the manipulation on the air. Or you can change the lamp instead of humans, or to open the door like a human arm. Or you can also think this robot can transform like a snake, so it can exploration in a very narrow space. So I think this is one of kind of application in the disaster rescue.
My name is Tomoki Anzai, master course student of University of Tokyo. So each link of the dragon has a small circuit board named neuron, and each board communicates each other. So by this structure, dragon can fly stably in the air.
Hello, I'm Shi Fan. I'm the second year master student in the University of Tokyo. Previously, my research is mainly related to this robot called Hydros. I want to make faster dynamic motion of this robot, like play table tennis. And for future work, I will work with Dragon to make more complex dynamic motion.
So there are lots of design for the air robot, but our design, we developed a very interesting mechanism called the gimbal modules. Will actively tilt the two rotors. So this is very unique in the world. I think this is the first design. And we also have a very important part is the joint part. You can see this is also the two-dimensional joint, 1 and 2. So these two important components makes the aero transformation. So people imagine the dragon for several thousand years. So I think this is the first time to create the true dragon in the world.
All right, that was for robotics. Now I would like to show you another videos again about robots, but on this time it is not about drone anymore. It's about robots building from some biocell. All right, so it is going to be a hybrid between biologists and mechanical engineering and also robotics.
Okay, I'm Shoji Takeuchi from the University of Tokyo, working in this Institute of Industrial Science. This is a very small robot, which is only a few centimeters. The first primary motivation to make a biohybrid robot is kind of the scientific fictions.
This is the body of the skeleton for the biohybrid robot. The joint is rotated like a finger joint like this.
So we actually make finger bone-like structures by using the 3D printer and then culture the living muscle tissues in between the finger bones. And when we apply the voltage between the living tissues, they actually make contractions so that the finger bone can move by the power of the muscle contractions. This is so-called the biohybrid robot.
We use a 3D printer to make the red-colored part. We use the 3D printer in dark room because the resin is cured by the light.
We are now thinking the two kind of applications. One is making the real biohybrid robot, which is a kind of artificial robot that works by using the living materials. And the other application is the kind of pharmaceutical studies. When we make a 3D muscles, it can be used for the drug development. And conventionally, so the drug is developed by using the living animals. But when we actually develop the tissues in vitro, so we can actually test the drugs by using the 3D tissues. That might be useful to reduce the animal experiment.
All right. I hope that you enjoy the videos. You can see over there in the two videos that our graduate school is not limit ourselves to computer science, but we are very active applying computer science to many other areas. Well, but we also have a strong computer science department. For example, one of our results is to improve the computation complexity of metric multiplications, a fundamental problems for several applications like machine learning. In 2015, we hold a record of busted algorithms for metric multiplications at that moment. Of course, this record has already been updated later, but well, it's our honor to be one of the histories. All right, that was about research. As I said before, we focus a lot on research, but to help you be able to conduct the world-class research, we also have a lot of interesting lectures providing to you. We offer 100 lectures in information science and technologies every year. 40 of them are offered in English. So you can join courses that you want to learn in English without any knowledge in Japanese. Okay, so now it's a time for me to discuss what I want to say most in these presentations. I want to say most about the admissions to our graduate school. We have two types of admissions to our graduate school. The first type is what we call as general admission, which is actually conducting in written examination. So if you join this general admissions, you then need to join our written examinations. You will be tested your skills in mathematics and foundational theoretical computer science. It is actually quite competitive. Less than 15% of applicants from other universities are accepted by this general admissions. But it is very rewarding if you get accepted, because you will have a chance to work with other people who are also accepted by these competitive examinations. Japanese companies do know that our examinations is very competitive, and yeah, this will facilitate you a lot when you apply to those companies. And well, I mean, you will be tested by your mathematical and computer science skill. You will be tested by written examinations. So I don't know if you are not confident in submitting a research statement or recommendation letters to Western University or some other Japanese university. This is going to be a place that you can try if you love mathematics or computer science. All right. We have two calls for applications a year. One is in May. If you apply in May, then your examinations will be in August. And if you get accepted in August, then your enrollment will be started on September or next April or the upcoming April. The second call for application is in November. And if you apply in November, you have to take the exam in February. And if you get accepted, your enrollment will start in April also. That was the general admissions. We have also another type of admissions that we call as special admission. This is the admissions that available only for non-Japanese people residing outside Japan. We are accepting non-Japanese people by the special admissions. We accept 10 to 15 applicants a year by this admission. What is more, we have scholarships offers to students who are accepted by the special admissions, and that scholarships prioritize South Asians, Vietnamese, and Thai persons. So I suppose that most of the participants in this webinar are from South Asians. You will be prioritized to receive scholarships if you are accepted by this special admission. The admission deadline is going to be on November the 5th. We are now calling for the applications. The application deadline is on November the 5th. It's going to be in just 1.5 months. So it's actually very tight. If you want to join us by this special admission, you need to begin from today. Actually, it's going to be quite tight schedule for you. And if you are accepted, your enrollment will start in October 2022. So you can join this special admission. Even you are not graduating, even you will graduate on next May, you can join this special admission. All information about this special admissions is now announced at the link over here in this slide. This link will be pasted to the chat box after my presentation. If you want to apply, what is the first step? The first step for you is to go to this website, which we have a list of our professors. Look for the keywords of the research that you want to conduct at the University of Tokyo. You will then find a list of professors who are interested in those research works. Please try to contact them and have they signed what we call as Form 5, and that is going to be the first step for the application. All right, as I mentioned before, the application deadline is going to be on November the 5th. We will have some document selection, and we will announce the document selection result in early December. Then we will have the second law selection. This is going to be done by online interview in December the 15th, and we will notify the final result in late December. So all the process will be done before the end of this year. What you will be asked in the interview, what you will be considered in the document selection is going to be as follows. If you will apply to our master course, you will be tested your fundamental knowledge on information science and technologies. You will be checked if you know mathematics, if you have a strong background in mathematics or not. Also, in addition to the fundamental knowledge on information science and technologies, you will be tested if you have deep knowledge on topics that you want to study. For example, if you want to study natural language processing, you will be tested if you know natural language processing well or not. It is going to be about natural language processing, but on the other hand, it's going to be the fundamental knowledge that natural language processing is building over, like, I don't know, machine learning, fundamental machine learning, statistical machine learning, or linear algebra, data structures, and so on and so forth. If you will apply to our doctoral programs, then in addition to the fundamental knowledge on information science and technologies, we expect you to have some research skill upon your admissions. So we will test your research abilities also in the interview and also in your applications documents. That's all from me. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Mr. Warapong, for the very informative presentation. Now we'll start the Q&A session. There are a couple of questions in the Q&A portal. So could I pick up a few questions for you to answer?
Yes, if possible.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So is there any department for bioinformatics or computational biology?
Yes, thank you very much for the questions. Actually, the University of Tokyo is focusing a lot on the topics of bioinformatics or computational biologies. At Graduate School of Information Science and Technologies, we have a cluster of professors who are working on bioinformatics. We are cooperating with Institute of Medical Science, and we have professors who have also positions over there joining us at Department of Computer Science. So some of them are working on the hybrid between machine learning and biodata. Some of them are working on the hybrid between data structures and algorithms and biodata. That is about our graduate school. Outside our graduate school, we have two departments focusing on computational biologists. One is at Graduate School of Science and one is at Graduate School of Frontier Science. If you want to join them, please check the information at their website. Then I would like to take the next question.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I have also a question from Akshat Verma. So can international students apply for general admission? Yes, you can, and you are cordially welcome to apply to our general admissions.
Also, there's one more question regarding the PEAK program. It's an undergraduate program at Tokyo University. So, do you have any idea about the PEAK program and if it offers engineering?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. You yes. As Ms. Kushi kindly explained, PEAK program is for undergrad students, which is different from us. We are graduate school, so we are not accepting any undergrad students. On the other hand, I know some information about PEAK because I was a visiting assistant professor over there for a few years. They have only two courses over there. One is Japanese studies, which is more on social science and humanities, and the other is on environmental science. So it is going to be an integrated courses for any students from science and engineering. So they have several courses for science students and several courses for engineering students. The idea is not to build any engineers or any scientists, but to build persons who have a broad knowledge who can improve the world on the environmental issues. So, well, it is quite early to answer your questions if they are accepting any engineering or they have any engineering courses or not, because they have a program which include courses in engineering.
Also, are there any graduate programs in humanities?
Uh, Yeah, this is something that I'm not sure about, because I'm an assistant professor in science and technologies. But I believe that we have a lot of great programs in humanities. As far as I know, many of them require Japanese, but I'm sure that some of them would not need Japanese skills.
We can pick up two more questions. So are international students supposed to take the entrance examination in Japan?
Uh, Thank you very much for the question. That is actually something I missed in my presentations. But previously, before the COVID-19 situations, if international students want to join us by the general admissions, then they need to present themselves in Tokyo to join the entrance examinations. COVID-19 make things change. Mostly in negative way, but for us, is push us to organize the entrance examination online. So from 2020, uh, we are forced to organize the entrance examination online for the first time, and we found that it is very great, because this give international students a lot of opportunities to join us. I mean, they don't need to buy the plane ticket to present themselves in Tokyo anymore. So we are considering a lot that even after the COVID-19 situations, we will keep some parts of the examination online, so you don't need to come to Tokyo anymore.
Okay. One last question. So do students who have taken SATs or ACTs or AP, are they also required to take the entrance examination for undergraduate programs?
Uh, so, well, uh, I don't have a lot of information over there, but basically, uh, well, we have two tracks. For undergraduate program, we have 0 tracks over there, so it is quite hard to uh, have an explanation for all the tracks. We have general tracks mostly for Japanese. We have a track for international students. We have a track for peak students. So for peak, uh, well, they accept that accept that score, and as far as I know, they don't need to take the students who want to be accepted at peak will not need to take the entrance examinations. But for other courses, you still need to take the entrance examinations, as far as I know. If you are international students, you still need to take entrance examination somehow, but it's going to be different from Japanese students.
Thank you so much. I would also like to add to Professor Vorapong that I recommend all students to check the guidelines of the program they're interested in, because the guidelines differ from program to program. There isn't a set guideline format that the student needs to follow. So I recommend you to check the department or the program you're interested in, and you can get more information in their website. Also, I have shared a few links in the chat box for University of Tokyo. You can see the graduate programs and the undergraduate programs that are available at the university. And Professor Vorapong, it would be great if you could share a few links in the chat box so that students can refer and save them.
Indeed.
Once again, thank you so much for the presentation. Is there anything you would like to tell the students?
Yeah, maybe I just want to pick just one more questions. So I have a question from Pratik Danawet, and the question is, what is the content of creative informatics course? Actually, the creative informatics course is indeed a very interesting course in my opinion. It is mostly about applied computer science and related technologies. So they are focusing on computer graphic, computer animations, automatic driving, or I don't know, fancy programming language, and many interesting and innovative information science and technologies over there.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry because we couldn't cover all the questions, but there are many questions for University of Tokyo. So Professor Warapong, it would be great if you could answer the questions that are there in the Q&A portal.
Yes, thank you very much.
You students for your patience, and we'll proceed with the agenda. Thank you so much once again, Professor Warapong.
Thank you very much.
So now we have the presentation by Kyoto University of Advanced Science. The Kyoto University of Advanced Science is an eminent private university with an all-English engineering program that is globally well acclaimed owing to its remarkable contribution to advancing technologies. One of the most powerful CEOs of Japan, Mr. Nagamori Shigenobu, founded the Faculty of Engineering to create a new generation of smart engineers. Now I'd like to request Mr. Takeda to give us an insight into the university. Mr. Takeda, are you here?
Thank you very much, Ms. Kushi. Thank you very much for your kind introduction about to me. Hello, everyone. My name is Takeda. I work at the Kyoto University of Advanced Science as an international office director. I am very pleased to talk about our all new and exciting engineering programs in the fields of mechanical, electrical, and system engineering. Simply put, if you're interested, our program is a great integration or sort of a great combination of mechanical, electrical, computing, and computer sciences. And I'll talk about which I'll be talking about in details shortly. Let me start sharing the screen with you now. So during my presentation, I'd like to cover all these topics on the agenda, as you see. And first of all, let me talk about our city, the Kyoto, Kyoto, the one of the most beautiful cities in the world, like Paris, Boston, in the United States. As a student, if you choose to come to Kyoto, you can see all these beautiful shrines, temples literally on a daily basis, which is amazing. And if you happen to be a big fan of beautiful comic books and animes, then Kyoto also may be a good place for you to visit, as there is a museum that specifically exhibits these beautiful books. This is our beautiful Faculty of Engineering building, and if you admit it, you'll be studying you'll be studying at this beautiful building of our Faculty of Engineering. A bit about our university, Kyoto University of Advanced Science, KUS for short. It started in 1969. It's a Japanese government accredited private university. It's located in Kyoto Prefecture. It has 3,600 students. It offers programs of 5 faculties and including a brand new Faculty of Engineering that I'm talking about. And there are 80 international students from 20 countries at the engineering school alone. If you take a look at the map in green on the right-hand side of Japan, our KUS is located at the center in the middle of Japan with a great access to major cities like Osaka, Tokyo. So if you fly out in India and you get in to touch down in Japan, it will only take you around 60 minutes from the international airport to get to our campus. Very convenient, conveniently located. And we are so proud to share with you this great news that the KUS Engineering is starting hosting 3 Indian undergraduates enrolled from this month. And out of 3 Indian students, there are 2 female undergraduate students, which is also which also really makes us proud of hosting Indian students on our campus. And also we are hosting 1 Indian master's degree candidate also from this September. What you can, let me talk about, several features of the Faculty of Engineering. Number 1, this is an international engineering program for undergraduates, which is conducted entirely in English language for the benefits of international students like you. Number 2, still we offer you great opportunities to learn the Japanese language as a part of your coursework on our engineering program at no additional cost, as you see on the slide number 2. And also our program is very practical, as I am talking, which I am talking about in details shortly. And you have all great opportunities to develop your practical knowledge and the skill that you can use as a professional engineers in the future for Japanese company. And number 4, there is if you want to stay on after graduate, there is our career department center is going to help you find job opportunities with Japanese firms extensively. So content-wise, so like I said, our program is a great combination of software engineering and hardware engineering, or computer engineering, and also mechanical, electrical engineering aspects. That's a great integration of these are important, indispensable engineering expertise. And more specifically speaking, you can see all these 13 majors on the right hand, in the box on the left hand side, starting from automation control, computer engineering, electrical, electronic. You can have an opportunity to cover all these 13 engineering major in one place, namely KUS Mechanical Electrical System Engineering program. So moving on from the first year and the second year toward the second year, you can have as many, or you can cover as many subjects as you like, so that you can test the water and see if which subject, which engineering expertise is right for you. So you might want to then you might want to develop your specialities by selecting subject out of all these certain majors, and then you can make the decisions of what specialty of engineers or engineering expertise you'll be working on moving toward the 3rd year, 4th year. It means that you'll be given a lot of flexibility as a student about what to learn and how to learn on our program. That's why we call this program multidisciplinary engineering program, where you can have a lot of flexibility to how to develop your practical skills and knowledge, and to be successful as an engineer in a modern engineering world. And actually, the KUS, the only one and only schools that has successfully adopted this innovative engineering concept as multidisciplinary engineering program. It's at the moment, and I would say that it's you can't find any of these innovative engineering concept implemented successfully in no other schools in Japan. So conceptually speaking, our program is going to put computing and the data processing at the center of our program. And moving to the left, and you also have opportunities to learn about mechanical engineering at the same time. Moving to the right, and you see the opportunities to learn about electrical engineering aspects also. So by the time you graduate, you're gonna be students and engineers who is proficient at all these are indispensable, essential or engineering expertise. You can feel more comfortable about all these indispensable engineering expertise by the time you graduate. One of our professors used to work as a senior executive at Hewlett Packard in California, also in Paris, and now teaches meta programming, IoT technology, or virtual reality, virtual machines, if you are interested. And Dr. Ian Pimentel is gonna be a great mentor for you if you are interested in these areas, computing or computer sciences. And related to computer science, computing, Dr. Zilu Liang is also has a great background in computing, or especially then in the fields of developing software programs for, let's say, for wearable devices. And if you are interested in these areas, Dr. Zilu Liang is going to be our academic mentors during your studies at KUS. The culmination of our program is the Capstone Project, where you have our intensive collaborative industry placement over 2 years. What exactly you do is choose a company that you want to work with as an engineering students, and then you can go and visit their offices to learn about the issues that the professional engineers now face in the industry. And as a student, you need to come up with or develop your own solutions for their feedback, for their improvement. So in this way, even during the course of study, or even as an engineering students on a camp at KUS, having great opportunities to work closely with professional engineers. This will help you develop your practical knowledge and the skills that you can use, and even from the day one you join Japanese company as a professional engineers. That this is how you can expect it to develop the practical and practical skills and knowledge program. Tuition cost is around 14,000 US dollars per year. We ran this program for 4 years. And the cost of living in Kyoto, as you see the bottom, is around $1,000, $1,200 per month, which should be a comparatively affordable cost compared to other countries in the cost of living, tuition cost. In fact, by world standards, and as you see on this chart, the KUS and the tuition cost is the most affordable, even by world standards. So that makes our programs accessible to anybody from anywhere in the world. Application timelines. You can apply for KUS online 100%. It means that you don't have to send us to any paper documents when you apply for KUS. Of course, later on, you'll be asked by our international office to send us physical documents as a sort of to verify your achievements, verify your financial statements. And still, when you apply, you can go online to apply for KUS with no major issues. And let me talk about application timelines for September 2022 program intake. Our early entry will start on October 1st, 2021, just 1 week away. So you can, if you are interested, I'd highly recommend you to start organizing your documents to apply for KUS very quickly. And our regular entry will start on December 1st, 2021. Our final entry will start on February 15th, 2022. What you need to submit to KUS in your application is the following. Number 1, ID photo. Number 2, application essay and the transcripts for your last 2 years of school in English. So if you are currently in the 12th year, you need to send us a 10th and 11th grade sheets, and for example. And if you already graduated, then you can send us your transcript for 11th and 12th grades, for example. So number 4, certificate of graduation, or number 5, you can use your predicted CBSE score or other national Indian test scores when you apply for KUS. And if alternatively, you can take the SAT, you can send us your SAT scores, or if you happen to be on International Baccalaureate program, you can also use your predicted IB scores when you apply for KUS. And number 6, evidence of English proficiency. If you have not been taught in English for more than 3 years, you need to submit your English proficiency levels, or any of TOEFL IBT or Duolingo or IELTS. And also you need to send us one letter of recommendation, which should come from one of your teachers or school counselors who knows you well and also write about you well. So, let me talk about our entry requirements for undergraduate students. So, given the nature of any engineering programs throughout in the world, we also require you to have our comprehensive understanding of physics and math equivalent to a high school level. As an applicant, also you are be expected to have covered algebra, geometry, calculus, statistics, force and motion, waves, electricity, and magnetism, atom structure. And by the time you enrolled at KUS, you'll be expected to have completed a 12-year standardized education curriculum in your home country, I mean in India. And again, admission criteria for undergraduate graduates are we would like to have students who have a strong GPA in grade 10 and 12, and who have a good track records in the physics and math, or who have a notable predicted CBSE or other Indian national test scores, or SAT, IB are predicted scores, who also have a strong determination to pursue studies at KUS, not other schools. And if invited, we also like to have students who have shown a great performance during an interview with our professors online, not a physical one. And also we'd like to have students who have a strong character matching with the program goals. Like I said, our program is very practical, and let me talk a bit about our postgraduate focuses, as we ran our program for master's degree candidates for 2 years and 3 years for PhD. So if you take a look at this slide, I hope you have a great understanding, you have a great sense of what we do at postgraduate levels. So core areas, mechanical, electrical, electronic, electrical, chemical, and computer science, if you are interested. And if you are really keen on applying for KUS as our master's or PhD applicants, You can take note that special note that our pre-application reviewing will start on October 18th of 2021. So I'd highly recommend you to visit our website as quickly possible. I pause here. You can take a screenshot of this page so that you can use it to go online to check out our websites and to know more about application procedures for postgraduate students. Okay, just to give you a better sense of what we do, who we are, I'd like to show you a short video clip about one of our master's degree candidate from India, Swaru Kumami. Let's hear out what Kumaru Swami has to say about KUS.
Hello everyone, my name is Kumar Swami and I am from India. I have completed my BTech from the College of Engineering Pune in Computer Engineering in 2019.
Why did you choose to study here at KUAS?
The main reason behind is like COAS facilities, research laboratories, and
Before you came to Japan, were you nervous or did anything worry you?
no. My answer is no. Before coming to Japan, I'm not nervous because I already decided I'm doing my higher education in Japan. So I'm already planning from in 2018 before coming to the Japan, and I prepared myself very well, and I learned some Japanese language, cultures, knowledge about how practical things doing in Japan and the Japanese education system.
So far, how do you like your classes and how do you like the professors?
Like I have been in COAS from the last 4 months and I'm doing research and I'm working on 3 different projects, and 2 projects from the COAS and 1 project is from the France. So I'm working with the international guys and my teammate is also from the France. My background is computer science, so I'm working with the computer science project, and another 2 projects is related to mechanicals and robots. So all projects is practical, not any theoreticals.
What do you like to do when you're not studying?
When I was free, I visited many temples. Like I'm living in Kyoto, and Kyoto is the best of city in Japan for a lot of historical places. And I have my own bicycle, so I visited many places on bicycle, and I like bicycle ridings and hiking.
Here on the campus, we have a career center to help students find a career after they graduate. But do you think it will be easy for you to find a job eventually if you decide to work in the private industry?
Yeah, it's very easy. I think so, because I think there is a lot of opportunity in Japan working in the private company or government also, but they have some criteria like basic Japanese needed maybe, or some companies they don't have any criteria, they just want your educations, maybe degrees, you have technical knowledge, then you will get easily job here.
So after you graduate, what do you want to do?
Actually I want to do PhD if I get a nice opportunity with the COAS. Yeah, here.
What do you want to say to other students from your hometown?
Yeah,
might want to come to class?
Okay. I want to tell my Indian friends and those who are want to come to the Japan at COAS. Before coming to the COAS, I want to suggest learn some basic Japanese language and learn about Japanese culture, because without knowing Japanese language, how it works and Japanese culture, then you might be not interested in Japan. You will be interested in the university, but you don't like Japanese culture, so there is no meaning. It's meaningless. So before coming to the Japan, learn some basic language and some culture, how it's working, and in Japan The education system is very practical, not theoretical. So everyone is focusing on the practical things. Let's prepare for the practical things also.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Before wrapping up my presentation, I pause here. You can take a screenshot of these slides if you want more further information about KUS engineering schools, as we proudly have official KUS Indian representative in India, Ms. Megumi Paul, Managing Director at Focal Ed, will provide you an extensive helping hands to have you great access to KUS information. I hope you have time to take a screenshot of here, and that will conclude my presentation about the KUS Engineering School. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Takeda, for the very comprehensive presentation. Now we can begin the Q&A session. There are a couple of questions in the Q&A portal. So could I pick up questions for you?
Yes, if you don't mind, may I ask you to pick up a few questions from me?
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
No problem. So does KUAS have any biological science courses for graduate school?
Unfortunately, we don't have any biological science courses for international students. Sorry.
Okay. What is the requirement for mechanical engineering?
Oh, I just touched upon some of the requirements during my presentation, so you can look back on my presentation recorded and also being posted on this Tokyo University's website.
Okay. Just a second. Is nanotechnology at KUAS? Can a student technology?
Nanotechnology is one of our specialities, as we have from nanotechnology. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we are one of our specialities actually, as we have professors working on specific fields in nanotechnologies. So if you're interested in, probably he or she is, I guess, talking about postgraduate program levels, so you can contact our professors in the fields as quickly as possible if we are keen on applying for KUS.
Thank you so much. Is there can a student learn about aerospace at KUAS?
Aerospace, no, not in our specialty. Sorry about that. But if you are interested in the aspect of material science as a part of aerospace, then you might be interested in KUAS as well.
Okay. A student is asking if KUAS is planning on increasing the intake for international students in the coming semester or in the coming year.
Yes, definitely. Actually, we are so proud that we are increasing. We have an increasing number of international students applications from around the world. And last year we had an application from over 50 countries in the world. And this, with that popularity in mind, definitely we want to increase the number of international students intake this year.
Okay. We can pick up one more question. Is there any question you would like to answer in particular?
So what are the approach to super continuing doctor research work? Is there a different engineering degree information communication in this? So one of probably this one are, is there a different bachelor degree of information and communication engineering in this college, and it can be only taken as a major? A bit of to answer your questions, yes and no. Our program is the you're gonna have eventually you're gonna have a degree of engineering in your graduation certificate, and if you earn a degree from our program, and content wise, you can also have covered in the information technology also in communications also. I hope you understand. I hope I am answering your question.
Sure. Thank you so much, Mr. Takeda, for answering the questions. There are a couple of questions still in the Q&A portal for KUAS, so you can continue answering them. And could you please share the contact details and other details of KUAS in the chat box for students to save the links?
Sure, I'll do that right after this. Is it okay? Ms. Kushi, is that okay?
Thank you so much once again, Mr. Takeda, for the presentation.
Sure,
Yes,
thank you very much.
So we'll proceed with the agenda slide. I'll reshare the slide. I hope everyone can see my slide. So now we have Toyo University. So Toyo University is one of the most comprehensive and largest private universities in Japan. It has a very global atmosphere and provides several well-designed undergraduate and graduate programs to international students. Several globally oriented programs and employment opportunities are given to students coming from the overseas. Now I'd like to request Mr. Hori to give us an insight into the university.
All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, maybe. My name is Ryosuke Hori. I work in the International Affairs Office at Toyo University. Well, first of all, thank you very much for the organizers today for giving us such wonderful opportunity to introduce our universities. So let me share my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you very much. So again, we are Toyo University. It's kind of confusing because there is Tokyo University, and that's the university hosting today's event. But we are Toyo University. Actually, our campus is about 15-20 minute walk from Tokyo University's campus. So it's kind of confusing. But as you can see, if you drop the K from Tokyo, then that will make our university name. So that's kind of easy to understand. So just a little bit about university. You know where Japan is, of course. And here's Tokyo. It's right in the middle of Japan. And as you know, the Tokyo is the capital city of Japan. And it's a very international, busy, exciting city. And I would say it's a very good environment for international students to study and to experience a different culture. Toyo University has 5 different campuses in and around Tokyo area. Our main campus is right in the center of the Tokyo in the metropolis, in the district. It's called Hakusan campus. So here are some pictures from our main campus in Hakusan. It's not 100% concrete and buildings, as you see, we have some trees, green. So some students enjoy, having lunch under the trees, with friends and so forth. So here are some numbers. So the university was founded in 1887, which makes us one of the oldest private universities in Japan. By the way, yeah, we are a private university, not national university. So we offer 13 different faculties. Faculties means, kind of school. So if we have School of Economics, School of Business, and so forth. And within these 13 faculties, there are 46 departments. So we are a comprehensive private university. The student population is more than 31,000. Probably this is one of the largest private universities in Japan. And we are very active in the field of college sports. So here's a picture from our small team. They made it a national champion some years ago. And I'm showing you the list of undergraduate programs here. So ranging from Faculty of Letters, meaning literature, economics, business administration, law, sociology, and more. Here, information networking, which is about IT, human life design, science engineering, life science, food and nutritional sciences. So what we are missing is an art school, art department, and medical department, right? So if you're interested in, drawings, sculpture, for example, or if you want to be a medical doctor, well, unfortunately, Toyo may not be a good choice. So the same goes for the graduate programs here. Mostly, similar. We offer similar programs in graduate programs as the programs in undergraduate level. So in 2014, we were selected as one of the 37 top global universities in Japan by the Ministry of Education. So this means that we have been receiving some national grants for 10 years. And our mission is to, promote globalization and internationalization within our university. Right, so that was a quick introduction of Toyo University. So from here, let's change a topic a little bit. So when you consider studying abroad, well, no matter where, it doesn't have to be in Japan, but in the States, in Europe, you may face many concerns, and we think that these three would be the major concerns for those who are considering study abroad. So LMS, it's not about the size of your t-shirt, right? L stands for language. So if you don't know the local language, then probably you have to take classes in English, but still the language barrier is very serious. M stands for money. This is everybody's concern, not just for students, but for everyone, probably most of us in the world. S stands for safety. Nobody wants to study in a dangerous, risky place. So safety is a very important issue. So these three may be the major concerns for you when you think about study abroad. And we would like to address, our response to each of those. So for L, language, as I said, we offer 46 undergraduate programs and 18 graduate programs. And among those, we offer 2 programs in undergraduate level in English and 9 graduate programs all in English. So basically, you don't need to know any Japanese. You can have 0 Japanese skills at the time of your application, and you can complete all the coursework and required, requirements all in English. But you will be living in Japan, in Tokyo. You should know some Japanese to survive or to make friends. So you can attend, Japanese courses in the course of your study. So that's our response to language issue. And now M, money. So this is the average tuition fee for a regular degree-seeking student. it's pretty expensive. So this, times 4 years. But yet, compared to the tuition fees for example, US colleges, this is incredibly cheap, right? But I have to say that living in Tokyo would be very expensive. It's the most expensive place to live in Japan, unfortunately. Compared to Kansai area like Osaka, Kyoto, as you heard the previous presentation, Tokyo would be 30% more in terms of living expenses. The big difference lies in housing. So that's why Toyo is offering partial tuition waiver to international students. And what we offer is for the first year, you will get 30% discount in your tuition fee. And the particular point is that we offer this scholarship, tuition waiver to all international students. So as long as you have a student visa, you should be eligible to get this discount, right? And from second year and ahead, it will be 20 to 40% discount. And this will depend on your GPA grades. So if your GPA is good, then you will get 40% discount. If not, 20%. Okay. So this will be offered to all international students. So this, as you see, you will get about $2,800 US discount on average, for 1 year. So this should be a very big amount of money. So that was our response to the money issue. And lastly, safety issue here. So the data is not very recent, but it comes from 2 years ago. But according to the Safe City Index 2019, Tokyo was ranked #1 safest city in the world. I'm very proud of this. Okay. Well, I would say personally, I think Tokyo is safe in general. Of course, you have to choose where to go and when. But if you be careful of the basic safety measures, then you should be okay. So that was our response to S, right? So I hope that your concerns would be a little bit, easy with our responses. So our employment rate in March 2020 was 19.2%. This means that almost everybody got a job, okay? But, well, this is not incredibly high in terms of university, college, Japanese university standard. But, and also I have to say that not everybody got a job that they wanted. But, this should be one of the reference for you to think about, coming to a Japanese school, university, okay? So admissions information. Because I work only for undergraduate admissions, what I'm going to introduce is only about the undergraduate admissions. So if you are interested in the graduate program, please wait until the last slide, and I will show you the email address that you can inquire, okay? So generally, we accept new students in April and in September. So, and now we are accepting students that are coming to Toyo in April 2022, so next year. So in undergraduate programs, we offer seats for Faculty of Global and Regional Studies and Faculty of Information Networking for Innovation and Design. So these two are the English track programs where, for which you do not need to know any Japanese at the time of your application. So what we do is the first round is the document screening, and second, we invite some of you to an online interview. So you don't need to come to Japan basically, just to attend entrance exam, right? And these are some example documents that you are supposed to submit, right? Essay, graduation certificate, and so forth. The documents that you might submit for admission in other universities as well. So application periods, the first round is already over. So we are aiming at the second round, which will start on October 1st. Okay, 2 weeks from now? No, actually next week. Yes, next week, yes. So interview will be done in mid-November, okay? And you will come to Japan in late March next year. Hopefully, by the time COVID-19 will be okay and you will be able to come to Japan. So for now, right now, I tell you that, the Japanese government has been closing the national border. So any non-Japanese nationals who do not have status of residence here in Japan right now are not eligible to apply for the visa. So which means you can't come to Japan, right? You can't come to Japan right now. We never know how long this will last, this situation will last, and we never know when the Japanese government will lift these travel restrictions. But hopefully by late March next year, international students can come to Japan, come in, right? Okay, so here's our last slide. So for more information, you can always visit our website, of course. But if you have specific questions about admissions, please email us at this email address, mlglobal@toyo.jp, right? So if you're interested in the graduate programs, you can send email to this email address as well. Okay. Unfortunately, right now our Facebook page is closed for some reason. So the email will be the only channel probably that you can reach out to us. So please use an email. Right. Okay, so that's all from me. I guess we still have some time maybe for Q&A.
Yes, we can start the Q&A session once. Have you ended your presentation?
Yes, that's all
Sure.
from me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hori,
Thank you
for
very
the
much.
very detailed presentation. We can start the Q&A session right away. Would you like to pick up a few questions, or I could pick up a few questions? Anything's okay.
Yeah, if you could pick up some questions for me, please.
So, does Toyo University provide a graduate program in business administration or marketing in English?
All right. Yes, we do offer graduate programs in business administration in English. It's an MBA program. Yes.
And when you say life sciences branch, what all courses are included?
So life sciences branch. Okay.
Yes. What all subjects are included?
Okay. So I'm not a specialist in that field, so I can just tell you general information. But basically, it's applied biology. So biological, engineering, applied biology.
Okay.
Yeah, that field. Yes, those fields are the major focus.
And students applying for the English and undergraduate programs, do they need to know Japanese from before?
Yes, basically it's required for undergraduate students to study Japanese. We offer, Japanese language courses on different levels. So if you have zero knowledge, then you will start from, zero beginner Japanese. So don't worry about that. Usually, if you stay at Toyo for 4 years, you should be able to communicate in Japanese with your friends by the time you graduate.
Okay. Also, are there student exchange programs provided by the university?
So it's kind of hard to hear your voice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
All right. Are there exchange programs available for students?
Yes, we offer exchange programs as well. Yes, but only with the partner schools.
All right. Are there any programs in arts or humanities?
Well, it depends on what you're looking for, but yes, for in the program of Faculty of Literature, we offer a wide range of humanity arts programs. So I encourage you to check our website for details.
Okay, and I will pick up one last question. Do international students have to take the entrance examination in Japan?
Do international students come to Japan?
Are international students supposed to take the entrance examination for undergraduate or graduate programs?
Oh, yes, yes.
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 Thank you so much, Mr. Hoi, for answering the questions. There are a couple of questions in the Q&A portal, so you could continue answering them.
Sure.
And it would be great if you could share these contact details and other crucial details in the chat box.
Okay, I will. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So we proceed with the last presentation for today. So we have GST. GST is an integrated organization of science and technology. It plays a crucial role in the development, advancement, and commercialization of new technologies in Japan. The organization funds numerous research projects nationally and internationally, and also promotes international joint research to stimulate progress in this field. Now I'd like to request Mr. Nishikawa, the Advisor for International Relations and Cooperation, to give us an insight into the organization.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Nishikawa. Thank you very much for having me here today. Today, I'm going to talk about an invitation program to Japan, which is called Sakura Science Plan. So just please stay on. Yes. Got it. Yeah. Just over it. Oh, can you see the slide?
Yes, I can.
Okay. First I'll explain about our organization. GST is an agency, a research funding agency under the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology, which is called the MEXT in short. And then we promote science and technology, research, and also human resource development. And then India, I was the first representative. I opened this India office in New Delhi in the year 2015, together with the University of Tokyo India office. Yes, this is for people living in New Delhi, I'm sure you know. This is just north to the Deer Park, and south to our office, there is a IIT Delhi and then DST, Department of Science and Technology, and also JNU is also very close to our office. And then we are pursuing currently started the joint research program with India. This is together with the Department of Science and Technology India. First, these three projects are now almost over. One is all of these three projects are related to ICT, Information Communication Technology. And the combination of research organization is this one, University of Tokyo together with IIT Bombay. And the second one, University of Tokyo and IIT Hyderabad. And third one, Kyushu University and IIT Delhi. These three projects are going on. And I think it's almost over now. And this another program is going on. This is Nagoya Electric Works. This is one of the biggest traffic signal company in Japan, together with in Nihon University in Japan. And they tie up with IIT Hyderabad. They are also doing this program. The term of the program for all the 4 program are 5 years. So it started in 2015, and this year it is going to end. And there are some other few programs going on with India. And now, Sakura Science Program. This program started in the year 2014. And then this is a brief explanation. This is a short-term introductory invitation program to young people. You know, we subsidize the expenses and then invite people to Japan, almost free of charge. And then now this is up to last year, it was from 41 countries. 41 countries were eligible countries, of course, including India. But starting this year, we expanded this to all countries around the world. And also, originally it was only in the science engineering students or researchers who are eligible to participate. But now, starting this year, humanities and social science stream people can also be invited by this program. So now almost anybody can come use this program. And then majorly, I just touch upon only type 1. That's the open application program. Because this is only big interest for you. Open application programs means this host organization or receiving organization in Japan. For example, there are high schools, universities, research institutes, private companies, and NGO NPOs, and other registered organizations in Japan. They become they act as the host or receiving organization. And then receiving organization will make application. They are not the sending organization, but the receiving organization will make application to this program. And then this is a process. Receiving organizations submit the proposal to JST, and the evaluation selection by JST is done, and then award. If once the program is awarded, the receiving organization or applicants, they will implement this invitation programs, and we provide the expenses, financial support to them. This is how it works. And then this some restrictions, conditions are there. The people who to be invited is between age over 15 and above and 40 and below at the time of entry of Japan. So this targets the younger generation of people. Of course, you have to be very aspiring, talented, highly motivated, and these conditions are there. You have to be a very good student or researcher. And of course, you have no problem in English, I'm sure. But this condition, those who have not stayed in Japan before. So if you already studied in Japan for say 1 or 2 years, you are not eligible. But you just came here, visited Japan as a tourist for a couple of weeks. That's all right. You can also, you are eligible to come to Japan. And this is just example. This is the University of Tokyo. This example of the implementation of the Sakura Science Program. University of Tokyo invited 10 computer science students, 7 graduate and 3 undergraduate from IIT Delhi, IIT Hyderabad, IIT Kharagpur, Madras in the year 2019. And they had this program. They had they also got the lectures, and they talked to Japanese researchers and Japanese students as well. And this type of program is carried out for say 1 week and maximum 3 weeks in Japan, and all the expenses will be covered by our program. And then, for example, this is the ranking of the applications in terms of number of invitees, by universities. For example, number 1 university is Miyazaki University. They have already invited from 41 countries over 750 people, students or researchers. And then Okayama University number 2, Osaka University, Tokyo Metropolitan University, Shibaura Institute of Technology, Kyushu Institute of Technology, and the University of Tokyo also a big user, heavy user of this program. They have already invited over 500 people from those. And also some top universities are listed here. So many Japanese universities already applied and also awarded this program. So for the last 6 years, actually, in the year 2020, there's nobody invited to Japan due to COVID-19. But for the last 6 years, over 33,000 people from total 14 countries have been invited to Japan by this program. And for example, from India alone, 2,849 people, students and researchers, have been invited to Japan by this program. And the number 1 country is, of course, China, and then number 2, Thailand, 3,500. But as far as the number of students is concerned, I think India should come to at least the 2nd place. You can, of course, India can be the number 1 position in this program, but still, so there's still big room for Indian, especially for Indian people, students, researchers to come by this program. And then, this is just example, this student, she was actually she entered the University of Tokyo peak course. She visited Japan. She was invited to Japan by Sakura Science Program, and then after that she decided to apply to come to Japan to pursue higher research. And then whoever come to Japan by this program will become the member of our alumni called Sakura Science Club. So this is the first alumni meeting of Sakura Science Club India. It was held in 2018, October 5. This place is a Japanese ambassador's official residence. We invited about over 100 people here, and he is here at the top. He is a Hirama-san. He is an ambassador of Japan, from Japan. He now already moved to some other places. And our chief guest for this event was, I'm sure you know, Professor Vijay Agahavan. He's a principal scientific officer to the government of India. He was the chief guest, and he made a speech. And that time we selected the JST, Sakura Science Club other alumni coordinators. And the main coordinator is Dr. Jitendra Chu. He's a assistant professor of ISA Pune. He's still at that time only 4 group members, but now coordinators, number of coordinators is more than 10. And Jitendra Chu, Dr. Jitendra Chu is still the main coordinator. He's acting as the president of the Indian alumni of Sakura Science Club. And this is second alumni meeting in February 15, 2020, just before the COVID pandemic started. But we are lucky to hold this meeting at IIT Delhi campus. And this is myself, and there are some alumni members here. And this is Ambassador of Japan also made a speech. And then we had the third alumni meeting this year, but it is online. We invited very top people and very scientists and prominent people, guest people are there. So the center, top center, he is Dr. Jitendra Chu. He's the main coordinator or the president of the India Alumni Association. And to the right, this is ambassador, current ambassador of Japan to India. And then this one, myself. And here, Mr. Miyauchi, he's a University of Tokyo, India, also the director here. He also participated and delivered the speech here on this occasion. So also we had not only in India, we had also alumni set up in Colombo, Sri Lanka. And in case of Sri Lanka, National Science Foundation, government agency, they are now great supporter of this program. And there's a main coordinator in this National Science Foundation is still there. And this we have also alumni in Japan. So those people who visited Japan by this program and then came to Japan to study, to pursue higher studies in Japan, they formed this alumni in Japan, Japan alumni. And then we had also meeting in March this year online. And the keynote speaker was Dr. Mori Mamoru. He is the first astronaut of Japan. You know, the main thing I'd like to say, you know, to you, if you are a student in schools or a university, the most important thing to come to use this program, to apply for this program, is your school, your university or your school have to find a receiving organization. Sending organizations in each country should have a receiving organizations in Japan. This is the key factor. So because only the receiving organization can make application in tie-up with the sending organization in Japan. So this is not an individual to individual project. So you cannot directly apply to this program. If you are a school student, you speak to your teacher or your principal. And if you are a university student, you speak to your professor. And then ask him to find and tie up with Japanese host receiving organizations in Japan. And then together apply, make a plan, visiting plan, and then persuade a Japanese host organization, receiving organizations to apply to JST. And if it is successful, and also we are very much welcome for, you know, whoever is very eager to come to Japan. We'd like to accept as many people as possible by this program. Well, of course, you have to work very, very hard, you know, because this program is very competitive, you know, so not anybody can come, but we have only selected people can come. But if you work very hard, I'm sure you have a chance to come to Japan. So we are waiting for you to come to Japan, and good luck. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nishikawa, for the very informative presentation. I'll reshare the presentation. So this marks the end of our webinar. Thank you to all the panelists and attendees for participating in today's webinar. The recordings of the webinars conducted earlier are uploaded to the Tokyo India office site, and the link is also shared in the chat box. For more information about Japanese universities, please join us tomorrow as well at 1 p.m. IST and 4:30 p.m. JST. You could register by scanning the QR code on this page. Also, please feel free to contact the universities personally for additional information. Once again, thank you for attending the webinar, and we hope to see you in the coming webinars.